Alright guys, welcome to a new episode. These are the rims I bought. I ended up getting Koenig Hypergrams. The really good thing about these rims is that they're flow formed, as you can see etched right here, or rotary forged, if you guys have heard that term. Let me pull these wheels out and I'll explain what that means. So a lot of wheels, a lot of the old wheels were just cast iron or cast steel. The original wheels on this car I think were cast iron. I don't think these are original. Anyway, they're very heavy. The newer stuff is all alloy, like most new vehicles. It'll be, partially aluminum or nickel, whatever kind of different metal mixtures they use. These are alloy as well, however, they are made a little bit differently. So this is the face of the rim, right? This is cast, which is a very low cost option. It's a lot cheaper. Forging would make this lighter, but it's very expensive. The price of the rims is about triple. So to make up for the weight of regular cast alloy wheels, so what they do is they actually cast this a little bit thinner right here, and they will draw this barrel out, rotary forging it, basically stretching this metal. What it does is it makes it higher strength and it lightens it by using a little bit less material. So you get the advantages of the lower cost from having this just be cast on the face, and then you get less unsprung mass out of the edges. So this saving weight on the barrel is more important than saving weight on the face of the rim. So I chose the bronze. I want it to match the blue. Let me grab that for you really quick. Everybody's doing black rims. I don't like that. I'm not a black rim guy, and chrome and silver, not in style right now. I don't think it would fit this light of a color very well. So I went ahead and got the bronze. I actually really like this look. I think it'll look really good. Once the whole body's painted, you can get a better idea than just this one panel. But rims aside, that's what I got for now. So I'm going to be putting these on after I get all of the rest of the components bolted up, control arms, hubs, all that stuff. I need to make sure it'll clear the caliper, that it'll spin freely without hitting anything, as well as the coilovers and just anything else down there. These are 17 by 9s, so they're fairly wide. Originally this car came with like a 15 by 7 or 6, something like that. Pretty small, so this is a lot bigger, a lot more aggressive. It'll make sure I get a lot of traction in here, which with that engine I am gonna need. One other thing I did off camera, I actually installed the rest of the kill mat back in here. I'm gonna leave this section for now, just because I wanna make that compartment I talked about in an earlier episode. But I did end up ordering a whole nother kit, and I just went ahead and did all of that off camera. You guys have seen this already, so no point in filming it twice. But just updated you on that. Now while we're back here, another thing I went ahead and did is grind down this little perch, this lip that's on top of the suspension towers in the back here. This was raised up another 1/4 of an inch or so. These coilovers are adjustable. I think it's a 32 setting coilover. So spinning this knob right up here adjusts the stiffness of the ride, make it softer or harder, however you prefer. You couldn't really get your fingers in here to twist this at all beforehand, so I ground it down, and those are now adjustable both sides. When I go ahead and do the front of the vehicle as well, I'll have to do the same. But ground them down, got them painted, threw the coilovers back in, and they fit really well. Sometimes when you're working on these things, you just get a little bit tired of doing the same old thing, ordering parts or sanding or priming or whatever. So I went ahead and did this little side project this week just for fun. This is off of a 2020 Mustang GT. This is just generic, basically ABS plastic window louvers. I went ahead and trimmed 3 inches off of each side. So I made 2 cuts, 3 inches. It gave me a chunk of plastic that I went underneath and bonded to each of these slats to strengthen it. I went ahead and glazing puttied and primered and used epoxy to fill in all the cracks. There's very, very little glazing putty in here, but there is a tiny bit, so I'm hoping that works out fine. I'm gonna go ahead and paint this just matte black with some Rust-Oleum trim and bumper paint. I think it'll end up looking pretty cool. If it looks terrible, then I can always peel it off, pull this off, no problem. But that's what I've been working on this week, and I think the end result looks pretty good. This looks, I don't think it looks perfect, but I'd say my epoxy job and lining it up, straightening it all, I think it turned out really good. Decided to have a little bit of fun today. I got this rear window louver just sitting here with some little magnets. I'm gonna go ahead and drill the holes to install this rear spoiler. I marked out where it needs to go, so I want to get that on there, see how it all looks together as a whole, cohesive design here. As you just saw in the time lapse, these front brake calipers are painted. I got the pads ready to go back in with all the clips. I'm gonna reassemble these, get them put back together tonight so that I can have them installed tomorrow. Now the rear end is gonna be installed tomorrow as well. This morning I broke apart the front end, got the steering rack out, all the suspension, brakes, rotors, all that stuff. This is going to be cleaned up. This cross member up front, the engine bolts onto. I'm going to get this cleaned up. Going to get the control arms figured out. These are from a 2014 Mustang GT. These are going to be used in conjunction with the old control arms to fit the front end I'm using. As you guys know, the rear end's from a 2018 Mustang GT. The front end's a little bit more of kind of a parts bin raid. The steering rack I'm using is from a 2004 Subaru WRX STI, specifically the STI model, as the steering ratio is a little different. The rack's slightly different from the regular WRX. The tie rods are actually Toyota and Ford. Calipers, rotors, and pads are all 2014 Mustang GT, along with the control arms and the spindles or knuckles. So I'm going to keep working on getting the front end ready. It's very close as well, just like the back end is. I'm hoping I have all the parts I need to get it installed tomorrow. I don't think I forgot anything, but fingers crossed it all goes off smoothly. All right, so you guys just saw Vladimir wrapping up a lot of the welding on the rear end right there. Huge thanks to him. His channel is Invincible Extremes. If you guys want to check him out, I'll link his channel in the description below. He's got a lot of great content. Super awesome guy, super knowledgeable. Really glad to have him come out and help me install all of these parts and do all the welding for me. So huge thanks to him. We're going to keep on going with the rear end and the front end in the next episode as well, so stay tuned. That one should be out shortly. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you later.